We are live now. We are live. I'm gonna say, okay, nobody there, but we got the MusicMedic in there. Hello, people that are joining in. I hope you're ready, Rich. This is a tough crowd. Let's see. Put this here. How about this one? What are these things?
Well, that's right. I think you're right.
Okay, we got a viewer. It's you, isn't it, Rich?
I think it is me.
Is it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Aaron Moss is on there. Hi, Aaron.
Aaron!
We have to remember to talk loud.
Aaron's probably just waking up. It's like 9 a.m. out there in Stockton, California.
Oh yeah? Ryan's walking. Ryan's here. This place needs some music. Hey, Laurel. Laurel's here. The whole gang is here. Couple minutes. We need a couple minutes, folks. Rich, you know what you're gonna say. Just kidding.
Is this live? No. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we're not live yet. Oh, we got a few people here. Who do we? Matt Budd is out there. Hey, Matt. Good to see you. Okay, couple minutes. We'll talk about some tools. I love tools, you know. I mean, I should, whatever. I enjoy them. Yeah. I'm glad we had this talk.
Yeah, I know. This is great.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice tools getting ready to talk about. Man.
On a beautiful day.
Can I give him like a little...
No, get out of there. We don't want to give it away. Don't give it away. Wow.
So
we
you've got a...
usually start.
You're using this... Oh, look at that roller.
You
That's
like it, don't you? Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's beautiful.
So wait a minute, is that the same one? Different. Don't forget you can turn that.
Oh, I won't forget. Oh no. I love it. Okay. 12:05.
12:05.
Stay live. Are we doing this? We don't. I mean, we're live already, but should I remove the sign or leave it? All right, I'm gonna remove the sign. Sign's going away, so we're gonna start, folks. Get your popcorn.
We're talking about...
It's you, Rich.
Hey everybody, this is Rich with MusicMedic. It's Fabulous Flute Friday here. We're also going to talk about some saxophone Dent Mandrels as well as some other kind of goodies. And I wanted to start with talking about our flute body mandrels that we make here. Our flute body mandrels are kind of the industry standard length. We have a couple of different iterations of this. Let me just back up for a second. So this is our professional mandrels that we have, and this is an example, and then these are our two economy mandrels that we make for body and head joints working with flute. The body mandrels are tool steel. They're all 18 inches in length, and they will fit the entire body length of a flute. And one of the things that is unique to our tools, to our body mandrel, is this threaded portion here. Can you see that?
I'm working on that, Rich. Sorry. Katie just joined us. Hi, Katie. Okay.
You got that? Okay. So there's our threaded portion, and I'll show you an accessory that goes into that. And basically, what we did with this tool, so this is an industry, basically an industry standard tool. You can see that they're exactly the same length. We have our economy line to be basically the same thing with a little more pronounced radius, so you know where to chuck that into your vise. And this is, like I said, made of tool steel, and it's plenty hard for its application. And then we also make our, this is the economy
Head mandrel.
mandrel, thank
Yep.
you, Kurt. And this is stainless steel.
Beautiful.
And then the professional line, we made some updates to. So this is the Pro body mandrel. It's also threaded, and we wanted to give technicians a little extra length, which
Why is it
some
threaded?
people
Why does he
need.
keep telling us it's threaded?
And this is, so here's our economy length. This is basically what you get. And so you can pretty much fit the whole body on there, but we decided to have a little extra working room for technicians. So you've got some extra working room here. And here we also added, we machined this Delrin stop.
Nice.
So you won't.
Hey, Dean. Hey, Jeff.
You won't slam your tenon or your flute into your vise. So that's cool for that. And the way that this works is we have our standard length of mandrel, and we thread on our hex.
Okay, so the economy mandrel is much like the mandrels we see, and it's the same length. It has the same length as the professional mandrel, but you have to chuck some of that length into the vise.
That's right.
So the professional version, you can use the entire length, whereas the economy, you can have to chuck that piece in the vise. I got you.
And you don't need a V-block. Here's a V-block for those of you who don't have it. And normally this is how this would be chucked into your vise between the jaws. So we decided to, forego that with our professional model.
Nice.
We had an experiment. This is a prototype that we made where we machined this flat to be able to chuck it into a vise. But
Looks kind of better than the one we're making now. Why don't we make that one?
I think we made this we decided not to because this was a little more expensive than just threading on a piece of hex stock, and this ends up giving us a little more room for our working surface
Right.
as well. So let me show the accessory.
Hey, Lauren. Hey, Chris.
The accessory that fits on the end of this. The first one that we have is a flute stabilizer. So this is a couple of little nubbins with a gasket in there. It threads onto the tool, and what's cool about this is it can just live on the mandrel itself. You don't have to take it off once it's on there. I can screw it on with my hex wrench here,
You want it?
and yeah, let me
You wanna
just show
show
them.
them?
I'll show you one thing about it, and then we'll take it over to
Alright.
to the vise. What's cool about this is if you have if you're doing some ragging or some dent work, this will keep the flute on there so that you can
Whoa. All right. All right.
come off. But what's cool about that is it also allows you to rotate this. So if this will keep it secured on your vise. And again, even with the rotation, it's not going to come off.
So you turn the little stabilizer, it expands, it holds the flute in place. Did you mention that it it has you can't over expand it, right? Like the two metal parts will hit and it will bottom out inside there. So it's like it's
Oh, yeah,
not
that's
it's
true.
it's not the kind of thing that you could I mean we accept no liability in the damage of the flute you're repairing, but it's designed to try to limit that metal parts come together and it won't overextend.
That's right. You
Cool.
can't bulge out.
And that's also
The
good for
idea.
ragging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, so let's bring this over to the vise and we'll take a dent out with it. I'm gonna come over
Oh,
here.
Rich Zimmerman at the Vice doing denting. Okay.
Whoa. Let me talk about chop safety. Leave your handles on the floor.
Okay.
Now that is.
Sorry about my camera work. Hey, Lauren. Hey, John. Hope you can see this. Adriana. And I can't say your name.
Torsier.
Oh, really?
Let me just give this a little dent.
Let's see what you got.
Now we've been playing with this, so this thing has been worked over quite a
Excuses.
bit. Nice key work there, Kurt. That's good key work.
Thanks. Thanks.
Let me just give you a little dent right there, and I'm going to slide that on there just a wee bit.
Okay.
Going to also lock down. I don't think I need to do this, but I'm just going to lock down the stabilizer.
So with that tight, you can hold it in the position you want to work, right? And the flute's not going to flip around.
That's exactly right. But I can still kind of rotate it a little bit if I need to, and I still got plenty of hold. You could take this down out with a rawhide mallet or some sort of dent hammer, however you're used to working. I'm going to show you with our dent roller that we're finishing up production on.
Nice. That's beautiful.
Yeah, let me just, I'll just start working this over. I like the feel in my hands of the roller. The handle has a little bit of, I would say, grip, because it's got some oxidation, or not oxidation, anodization. So it's kind of grippy.
It's all aluminum and it's
not too heavy. The handles aren't too big. I don't feel like I'm putting too much effort into gripping the tool while I'm working it.
Mandrel seems to be working good in there too.
I think it's working just good. And that's just a couple of seconds. I've got a little more to do there, but
normally he would have got it perfect. Nice.
A little more.
Just kidding. Just kidding, Rich. You're doing a good job.
So that's our roller, and that's the mandrel in use. I'm going to loosen up the stabilizer.
Jonathan Hogan's out there. So is Carl Thacker.
Hey,
Happy
Carl.
birthday, Travis, a little while ago. Travis is watching over Carl's shoulder. Carl's like, oh, these guys working on flutes, they don't know what they're doing. It's okay. After we break it, we'll send it over to Carl's pro band. And we'll have Carl fix it right up. What can I do for you, Rich?
Why don't we use the 5/8 rod? And I want to show you guys another couple of tools that we have for flute. These are our flute dent barrels, and these come in a diameter for the body and a diameter for the head joint. They have, I think it's 3/8/16 threads for your normal, just a normal dent mandrel, and they also have this flat machined on there, and you can occasionally, as you're working these tools, if they get stuck on the rod, you can then use a pair of pliers to remove them from the dent rod.
Prototype Nipex right there.
Oh, really?
Yep, we have to delete that from the memory of all the watchers.
What these are great for is when you get into a situation. This is the head joint radius. This is excellent for when you get into an area up underneath or kind of around the lip plate, so you can, first of all, you can use these in if you want to get into repair and you don't want to get a full-size body mandrel. I don't know why you wouldn't, but these allow you to get into dent work on flute just using a standard dent rod and these barrels. So for the flute head joint, the example I wanted to show you is when I get into an area, say, that's kind of up here, that's difficult to remove on a mandrel, the barrels will allow you to get in there and remove that. And then on the body barrel,
Nice.
the body barrel is great for when you have an area, this doesn't have it, but if you have an area under a rib or a post that you want to raise up, you can give it extra pressure there and raise specific areas on flute. So we're going to be giving away a set of
Oh,
these.
really? Is that authorized giveaway, or is
We should talk to the owner.
I gotta get a release form
So
for
if
that?
you share this, if you're the third person to share this
Third
video
person?
on we should probably have them share it to the flute forum, right?
I think that you better be the 100th person, and you should have shared it to 15 different places.
Be the third person to share this on the Professional Flute Repair Forum on Facebook, and we'll give a set of these away.
Set?
Yes, sir.
Wow. I guess so. All right.
So if you guys have questions about any of the tools that we just showed you, feel free to message us. And without further ado, I'm going to have Kurt switch, and we're going to talk about sax body mandrels.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing one too. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let's talk about some saxophone body mandrels. All right, Rich. You're the cameraman.
On the camera, can I get that out of your way, sir?
On my hand. Oh. Indestructible. The mandrels. All right, Rich. Let's talk about some body mandrels. There's a lot of confusion about which mandrel is what, and I am going to make it very clear for you. The alto set is these three, and the tenor set is this one, and you have to get rid of these two, add this one, and put in this V block. No, I'm just kidding. This is what it is. The alto set is these three. The tenor set because of the location of the octave vent needs a different smallest one. So take this one out of the alto set, and then because tenor is bigger than alto, you have to add this. So these 4 are the tenor set. Watch these 2 here.
It's like a magic trick.
And these 3 are, you see, the alto set. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So let's look at what they do. The other question that we get, other than what's the difference between the alto and tenor set, is why do you not have a huge mandrel that you can just put into any saxophone? And that's a good question, because actually the tapers are very similar on saxophones, and a giant mandrel would have some usefulness. If we had a giant mandrel, what I would do with it is...
Sorry.
What's wrong?
No, that it's just funny. It's Friday. Sorry. Go. Continue.
If we had a giant mandrel, what I would do with it is I would cut that mandrel up so that I could work on one part of the instrument at a time. If you're working on the body tube of an instrument like this one, and you put one mandrel in the whole body, there's a really good chance that you're going to hit, say, here and somewhere down here, and this spot in the middle is going to be raised. And if you have to take a dent out of it, you're going to push this down to the mandrel. So a lot of times, if you're working with a whole body mandrel, what I always would end up doing anyway is slide it off the mandrel a bit so that the whole thing could be loose on the mandrel. And if you're going to do that, just have different mandrels. So we have these different mandrels, and they're basically, in a way it's a mandrel cut up. But if you cut this mandrel up, if this is the alto mandrel here, and say it goes to here, if you have a dent in this area that you want to work, if the other mandrel was an extension of this one, then you wouldn't have a rod or a dent rod, or whatever this tool is called.
Mandrel?
A sax mandrel that you could fit right here. So what we did was we overlapped them. So this one will come up higher. So let me show you how that works.
Wow. Okay.
Here's an alto.
Whoa.
Put it in. That fits past the pip, and you see that it goes to right here. And that's this tone hole. Now I'll take that.
What
out.
tone hole is that, Kurt?
Oh my god. That looks like
Maybe it's an 8-tone
this
hole.
D flat would come out. And so here's that tone hole, which is where the bass I think would come out. And there. Now you can see that this other rod goes all the way up to here. And now let's put the third rod in. This is the largest
Mandrel?
mandrel of the set, and that covers to here. So I didn't show you where that is, but these two overlap. So now anywhere that you're working on the instrument, you could do it. So let's see what that looks like if you're working on it.
Well, Kurt, I have a question. I keep hearing like a kind of a textured sound. Is there a texture to these, and why do you guys have a little bit of a texture on your mandrel?
Some of the mandrel has a little bit of texture to it, and that allows it to slide in, and it holds really well on the mandrel.
Okay.
Some technicians want them smooth, and that would be really easy to make it remarkably smooth with a little bit of sandpaper, and it would have that smooth finish. But otherwise, it has a slight texture that shouldn't transcribe up through the body. So if we had this, well, let's put a dent in there. Let me show you how that guy works. There's a dent.
Okay.
That's a good one. Okay.
We're going to come over here to the vise, and so now these mandrels all are used with a 3/4 rod. Is that right?
Let me show you something about that. So the inside.
You want to hold that?
Yeah, sure. The inside of the mandrel's all stainless steel, and obviously it's threaded inside to accept the rod, but it has this relief. And there's a couple reasons for the relief. Our mandrels, by the way, we insert our threads in, and that allows us to, the threads are what always fail. So if the threads were to fail on this, we could put a new thread in, and this is a hardened thread rather than just an extension of this dent rod. So with the threads inside, the rod goes into the mandrel before it tightens down,
or when it tightens down, and then it gets a nice fit inside there. And that is going to, when you're putting a lot of pressure on that, I don't know how your threads could fail, because it would hit here and you would have to do something unbelievable to get the threads to fail. So that's not going to happen. There's another cool thing, there's another cool reason, or a benefit for that being recessed is,
Hey, Pedro.
hey Pedro. So when you take this guy off here, when you come out to the end, like normally if you came out to the end, this thing might fall
And hit your shoe or something.
And they're large. The big one, I mean, I'm remarkably strong, but the big one is heavy. Okay, so there it is. There's our mandrel on there. I put a dent in there, and you can see my dent is here. And I'll just push this up onto the mandrel, and well, there's not much dent left because I pushed it up onto the mandrel, but from there I could use a roller, a burnisher. I would probably just call Ryan and have him do it. I'm sick that day. Ryan's sick that day, so
Show him, show him that
I'll
roller.
show him this guy. So what I'm going to do here is take this off and put this in this way.
So that was the roller, the flute roller or trumpet roller I was using, and you just flipped it around?
I just flipped it around, and this guy I can put on either way. I can put it on this way, or I could put it on this way. So I'll put them on here this way. Tighten it down. Put this where I want it. Lock it in. And I'll just push this on and roll over this dent a little bit. When I'm working on a mandrel, I'm usually not locking it on there because there's probably going to be a place. Let me try right there. If I lock it on and I start pushing down, see, I can dent it into the mandrel. I mean, unless this body is perfect and the mandrel perfectly fits. So when I'm using a mandrel, I come off, and that's kind of what I was saying about why do you need that whole mandrel. If you're working here, you don't need a mandrel sitting down here. It seems heavy and unnecessary. So, and there it is. This saxophone has a lot more problems than this dent, but the dent looks good, pretty good. Nothing looks good in repair. I hate my work. There we go.
Now.
There we go. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's beautiful. So that is how we're using the body mandrels.
Okay.
Let me just show you quick.
Can we see that on some different diameters, Kurt? Like maybe a tenor or a berry tube or something?
Yes. Yes, you can. Yep. I mean, let me show you how the tenor version works.
So Aaron's got a question. He says, I have a thought about the complete body mandrel idea. What if the mandrel segments threaded together to make a complete mandrel as an option?
Let me show. That's a good question. Let me show you that. Here. Well, let's look at this one. I have the smallest mandrel on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let me extend this one. So let's look at the range that this mandrel will work. So there's a slot in here for the pip, and I slid this past the pip, and if I push this all the way on, this one will actually fit through a little bit. So that's the smallest mandrel, and it's going to about here. So,
Whoops, sorry guys.
So if you had a dent right here, and it's at the end of this mandrel, what I would do is, well, I might just slide it off a little bit and I could probably get to it. But if I had a dent in a location I couldn't get to, I would just use the other mandrel, because the cone of the mandrel, it's not an extension of the same cone, they overlap. So if I had a dent here at the end of this mandrel, I could put the other mandrel in. It would stick up further. The second mandrel I'll show you, and then I could take the dent out. If the mandrel's screwed together, you might say, well, then why wouldn't you just put number 1 and number 2 together, and then you could do this here because it would be right at the place of the seam. That would be a lot of unnecessary machining for that one instance, and then you would still have a lot of mandrel. You'd maybe have this much mandrel locked into your vise. So with these guys, you don't have to have as much mandrel in your saxophone. So you don't have to carry it around, you don't have to put it on the bar, and also you don't have to have it inside there just getting in the way while you're working on this one section. So this mandrel goes to here, right? And this is the tenor.
Okay.
And let me put the second one on. That mandrel's up to here, near the top of the C sharp tone hole. So here's what I'm talking about. I have the horn in one hand and I take this off and it doesn't fall because it's got that recess.
And so this is mandrel.
This is mandrel number 2, which is also number 2 of the alto set.
Gotcha.
Number 2 and 3 are kind of like the. So this mandrel is going up past this tone hole and all the way down here, and the other mandrel ended here. So let's look at number 3.
And Carl's asking about soprano sax.
Carl is a troublemaker.
Just comments to himself.
Yeah. That's a good question, Carl. Ryan, you got any comments about that?
Yes, sopranos exist. No, some of this will work for soprano, but not obviously when you get to the top stack area.
Yeah.
Not as much.
So I can see it's a good question, Carl. Thanks. I'm just kidding about the troublemaker part. But that we have in the works a larger for baritone and a smaller for soprano. But already these sets will do a lot of work on soprano and baritone. Okay, so now this mandrel's coming up to here. I was down here on the other mandrel, so they're overlapping. And if I had some dent work down in this area or where this is overlapping,
Do you want to
now I'm taking these off.
Show me
Mulan
bigger.
is very happy that this is not going to fall. And these are very large, impressive pieces of stainless steel. Okay, and this is the last one. And there we go. So the other one came up into here, and this one comes up into here. So this will get any section of the body straight to the mandrel. The concept of sliding the whole saxophone over that way, we don't love it. We didn't love it, so that's why we ended up with these mandrels. Oh, while I got that on.
Yeah. Let's show them some. Can you show them a bigger tube? Everybody loves to see that.
All right. I happen to have one right here.
So this is the largest size mandrel in the tenor set, or
this is the largest in the set. Right?
Okay.
You could use it for anything. So here's a bass.
oh my gosh, look at that thing.
I think that
Oh
this
my
mandrel. Where's this mandrel gonna go? Let me. Maybe even more. Okay, let's see how far this guy goes. So on a bass, I think even with this I could do some work right here. I wouldn't probably do it this far out on the vise. That's where I ended. Let me see where I ended. So on a bass, I'm right here. So on the bass I could do this work. If I'm here, I could use the smaller mandrel to get up here if I needed it. And we would need to make some bigger ones to absolutely fit in here. But I'm not sure that we're going to get much bigger than baritone on the set, because on the biggest tenor size, that's already an impressive dent mandrel inside there that I could work on.
And they have other techniques, or we have other techniques where we could get in there as well.
Yes.
To a larger space like that. Cool.
Okay. That is our saxophone dent mandrels. Alto and tenor set.
I'm just looking to see if there's any other questions that we may have missed. If you guys have any questions about this, feel free to contact us. And
Thanks for coming.
thanks for coming.
Someone's gonna get these babies.
Somebody's going to win that.
Wow.
Remember to share those. Matt Budd's going to to contact you if you've won.
Matt, if you share it, you don't get them. Okay, you can't get them. You have to buy them.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Happy repairing. And until next time.